This is the trading review for the 18th of April 2022. It was an ugly day. For me personally, the market offered opportunities, but uh, but I extended my weekend to Monday because of how lazy I was. Uh, I wasn't sure if I was gonna trade today, but ended up waking up and then just ruining and just making a mess out of my trading. But anyways, I was looking at Oxy and Twitter and Baba, but Baba did not offer an entry. And when I wanted to take a trade, there was a hotkey mistake. I think there is a bug on the software that was not calculating the the right share size. So I had to look for a different stock. Um, but I was looking at Oxy, and Oxy had beautiful volume in the morning, and this is what I wanted to trade. And it had an okay level too. I wasn't gonna get a lot of stacks, but I was looking for this setup, and I had this right here. Let me load my watch list. And I had this right here. You can see that I was gonna play a volume price analysis reversal. So we needed a 5 minute doji. The 9 and 20 were crawling down, and by that I mean they have a negative slope. And I make my entry at the 5 minute and the 1 minute break. And this is the condition that if and only if I have a doji and the 1 minutes are curling, the moving averages are curling down. So I had everything set up. The problem is that the 1 minute, the 5 minute close, and it was barely holding. And if I made my entry here at 10:07, it will have been in anticipation. It will have been in this 5 minute candle, and you have an extension here. So usually when you have a large candle like this, you end up with some pullbacks, and you end up getting stopped out, and you don't know where to place your stop loss. Like if I wanted to make an entry here, I will have to place a stop loss of 30 cents at the from the break, and you don't know if you're gonna get that much return. So I waited and I waited, and I could have made my entry on this tiny pullback, but I hesitated because we were already trading below the moving averages. But I just I was overthinking a lot because this could have been a very good entry, especially at the break of the 5 minute. So I hesitated, and then the stock ran without me, and I think that messed me up for the day. These trades that you see here are because I was testing my hotkeys. I tried to take simulation very seriously because I have traded live, and I try to take it as seriously as I take live trading, because otherwise there is not much benefit to simulation. And so, anyways, I missed my opportunity on Oxy. This was just to make sure that my hotkeys and the platform was working well. And then just by pure accident, I ended up looking at not on a Neo, and even now, even though that is aftermarket, you can see that the level 2 is populated, and it kind of messed me up because it kind of fooled me into thinking that it was gonna drop, but it was being just heavily manipulated. So the first legit trade I took was Neo, uh, at the break of S4, because I had it as an outside day at the break of the 5 minute and the 1 minute. But the problem here is that we I did make my entry at the break of the 1 minute with a stop loss of what, 10 cents, uh, because I didn't get the correct share size, because sometimes the price action is too fast. I added just 23 more shares, and then it stopped me out right away because we pulled back and the level 2 was very bearish. I took another trade with the same 10 cent stop loss. I had a spread here. I had a greater loss than I intended because of 1 cent spread, but I placed my stop loss here again, and then it got triggered after a minute. It failed to break below. It failed to break below VWAP again, and then so I got stopped out after 2 trades, and because the level 2 was very bearish, I just thought that it was just gonna drop, right? The correct thing, I think, in this instance, because I was already very emotionally unstable, I should have stopped. And when I make my third entry here, you can see that it's at the break of the 5 minute, but not at the break of the 1 minute. So it's done in anticipation and with the intention to make up all the losses that I had. So it was very big share size. It was a stop loss of 7 cents, which is not good. I almost got stopped out here. I got lucky here, and then it dropped, but it never went to my first partial, which was 1881. So it took some time, but it finally stopped me out. It's just stock selection. I blame this on stock selection, but it's my responsibility. You can see here that it ended up dropping to 1881, but it was not offering a good return. It never traded nicely at all. So I should have avoided this stock. So yeah, so those are the 3 trades that I took. Because of some slippage, I ended up losing more than 3R. So yeah, I'm gonna place these trades on my spreadsheet. So my first trade stopped me out for this daily. Okay. So the first trade is what? I think it's a I think it's an A setup. It was a short. No, this is an F. Because none of this is valid. None of this analysis. I pulled this stock that was not in play. So even though the setup is perfect, it doesn't make sense because it's not in play. So it's, even if you have all the criteria met, it's gonna fail because it's heavily manipulated. So it did not work. No. F, yes. Okay, so I have this sample. So all these 3 trades are garbage because I was trading a stock that was not in play. It might be a little harsh, but there is nothing I can learn from there is nothing I can learn from this trade because it was this trade was designed to fail. since the beginning it was going to fail. It was sabotage. I'm just gonna calculate the spread. So it's 3.4 total that I lost today. So that's hugely disappointing. Of course, emotionally. And yeah, so that's my trade reviews. I'm gonna go ahead and make the video for the daily review.